Hi students, good morning. Welcome to the new session in oral pathology. I'm Dr. Gopi Krishnan discussing oral pathology with you. Okay, so here we will start with a new topic, our salivary gland tumors. Okay, we are going to start with our salivary glands. Okay, salivary glands and its tumors and its diseases. Okay, so you know that salivary gland tumors and salivary gland lesions are very important for your NEET INACT examination. Okay, they have asked many questions in this. Now this is an introductory video. We will see what is there to learn in salivary gland tumor, what is the basics, okay, pure basics in salivary glands, because certain terms we use when we are learning the tumors. Okay, you should be familiar with the terms, you should be familiar with the cells from these tumors are arising, as well as little about the latest WHO 2022 classification. Okay, so they have introduced four new benign tumors and two malignant tumors in the latest classification. We'll be discussing that. You should be knowing the names of latest entities. Okay, this you may not find in any textbooks. Okay, so that we will be providing here. Now let's come to the video. Let's see what is there to learn in salivary gland lesions. Okay, so you know that salivary gland is a glandular structure that is derived from the glandular epithelium. So there are major and minor salivary glands in our body. You have your major salivary glands, you have your minor salivary glands in our body. So both major and minor salivary glands are there, and based on the secretion they can be mucus, the mucus secreting salivary glands, serous salivary glands, and your mixed salivary glands. So this is based on the type of secretion they are giving. Now, to learn about salivary gland lesions and tumors, we should know what are the different types of cells inside a salivary gland. Okay, so you know that inside the salivary gland, you have a secretory apparatus, that is your acini, and your ductal system. So you have your secretory apparatus, that is your acini, that is acinar compartment. Okay, and you have your ductal system. Okay, you have intercollected duct, intracollected duct, and the terminal ducts. Okay, secretory ducts. Okay, they will the acinar component will make the saliva, and the ductal system will take the saliva to the oral cavity or the destined site, right? So acinar system, okay, acinar system, they consist of two types of cells. It can be a mucus cell or a serous cell. Okay, it can be a mucus cell or a serous cell. Now, how to identify a mucus cell and a serous cell? Mucus cell will be a columnar cell. Okay, this is a mucus cell. Mucus cell will be a columnar cell, tall columnar cell with the nucleus pushed towards one side. It's a very small nucleus, and you can see a lot of mucinous secretion inside. The cytoplasm will be full of mucin. You can see that it is completely mucinous blue in color. Okay, so this is a mucus cell, the tall columnar cell with the nucleus pushed to the base. Okay, that's a mucus cell. In a serous cell it is pyramidal. Okay, this is a serous cell. Serous cell is more pyramidal with a large round cytoplasm, large round nucleus, and so much of granules inside. Granules inside the serous cell, they are nothing but the zymogen granules. Okay, that makes the serous secretion, zymogen granules. So this is a basic difference. So this secretory cells are present in this acinar part. Right. The acinar part contains this secretory cells. The ductal part contain your ductal cells. Okay, cuboidal to columnar ductal cells. Anyway, the one thing you can see in common to them are they are towards a lumen. Okay, they have a central area which is a lumen, which is an empty cavity. Okay, so these cells are facing a empty space, or these cells are facing a lumen. So they are called luminal cells. Luminal cells, the meaning itself is that it is facing towards a lumen. Okay, so luminal cells are, what are the luminal cells? It can be your mucus cell, it can be your serous cell, or it can be your ductal epithelial cells. Right, they are facing the lumen. Now there is another type of cell in your salivary gland which is not facing towards the lumen, which is outside this lumen. Okay, so you have a cell, net shaped or a spindle shaped cell here. Okay, and these cells and some round cells here, these spindle shaped cells are called your myoepithelial cells. So you have myoepithelial cells. What are these myoepithelial cells? They are cells with components of your epithelium as well as muscle. Means they have a property of muscle. They have muscular component inside and epithelial component inside. Means what is the purpose of this muscular component? To push the acini or to compress the acini so that the salivary secretions come out. Right. So that is myoepithelial cell. And other one is the basal cells. Basal cells are small, round to small cuboidal cells. they are reserve cells. Actually, they will replenish or they will help in the cellular turnovers. Okay, the cellular turnovers. So these cells which are away from the lumen are called abluminal. Abluminal cells. So there are two types of cells in the salivary gland: luminal cells and abluminal cells. So tumor can arise from any of these cells. They can arise from the mucous cell, they can arise from the serous cell, sometimes they can arise from the myoepithelial cell. And in certain tumors, both these cells, means a luminal cell and an abdominal cell, can lead to tumor. So, okay, so if it is arising only from one type of cell, it is called a monophasic. Means it is arising from only serous cell. There is no component of abdominal tumor here. It is called monophasic. If the tumor arises from both luminal and abdominal, then we call it biphasic. Means there is population of two, right? Luminal and abdominal cells are there. There is biphasic population of cells. Okay, so this is a basic thing. So when you read salivary tumors, you may see that this is a biphasic tumor, this is a monophasic tumor, and this is luminal, this is abdominal. Okay, now I think the concept is clear to you. This is a basic concept, very simple concept, but this will help you or make it easy for you to learn. Okay, now there are certain tumors which arise from the acinar cells only. Acinar cells is a mucus or serous, right? So if you say so cells arising from only from acinar cells, we have an example, your acinic cell carcinoma. From where this acinic cell carcinoma is arising? From your serous cells. Okay, the serous cells are giving rise to this acinic cell carcinoma. The cells which are arising from the myoepithelial, means from an abluminal, okay, from an abluminal cell, we have myoepithelioma. Okay, so acinar cell, only abluminal cell myoepithelioma. So these are all monophasic. Monophasic means only one population of cell. Now tell me an example of a biphasic. Biphasic means there is a component from both your luminal and abluminal. Okay, both luminal and abluminal cells, both are there. The best example is your pleomorphic adenoma, your adenoid cystic carcinoma. Yeah, adenoid cystic carcinoma, pleomorphic adenoma, all these are having population from both luminal and abluminal. So now I think you understood the basics in a salivary gland tumor. Now let's see what was the latest addition in WHO 2022. In WHO 2022 classification, okay, in WHO 2022 salivary gland tumor classification, they have introduced a few new entities. Just remember the names of the new entities. Okay, so you have benign tumors, and they have introduced 4 benign tumor and 2 malignant tumor. Okay, 4 benign tumor and 2 malignant tumors. The benign tumors are keratocystoma. Keratocystoma is one benign tumor they have introduced, and then one it was sclerosing polycystic adenoma. Adenoma is benign and adenocarcinoma is malignant. Sclerosing polycystic adenoma. Then third and fourth is very easy. It is intercalated ductal adenoma, and striated ductal adenoma. So intercalated duct adenoma or striated duct adenoma. Okay, so keratocystoma, sclerosing polycystic adenoma, and intercalated or intraductal, striated duct adenoma. Now malignant, they have introduced 2-1. It is very easy. Here it is sclerosing polycystic, so make it sclerosing microcystic. Okay, here it is sclerosing polycystic. Malignant, make it sclerosing microcystic. It's not adenoma, it is adenocarcinoma. Simple. Okay, and the next one is mucinous adenocarcinoma. Mucinous adenocarcinoma. Okay, So this is so simple. These are the terms. Please remember these newer entities, because when you face a NEET examination, they may ask you which among the following is a newer addition or newer entity in a WHO salivary gland tumors. Okay, so this is about the basic idea about the salivary gland tumors. Now let's see each individual salivary gland tumors in the upcoming videos. Okay, see you in the next video with the next topic. Bye.